Hottest fucking thing a guy can do is make a little noise. Okay, let out a little.
Hold on, clear it up.
The Warthog. I love him.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
What's up, everybody? I regret to inform you that it is all over. I am sick. I'm sicker than I was yesterday. I feel fine in the head, but my body is just man cold, full-blown man cold over here. And I didn't want to take more Dayquil, but I finally just sucked it up and took some. Kind of improved things just a little bit, but my whole face just feels like it's stuffed full of cotton. And I've got this little thing. It feels like I've got a little gnome inside my nose. Cooper suggested to me it might be Daryl. I got this little gnome that's up inside this nostril, and just every once in a while he just like stands up with the little gnome knocker and just goes donk 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 on either side. My nose just starts itching like the devil, and then everything just pours out of me. I don't want to get too graphic for you guys. But oh man. Cannot stand this stuff. So today, there he is in the chat. Our great producer of Pseudowaves has given us the perfect thing, because I want to do a show. I'm feeling good. I apart from being trapped inside this body of mucus, I'm feeling all right. So I want to do a show, but is Daryl that small? I don't know. Gnomes have crazy powers. You never know what to expect with them. Yeah, I don't know how long my voice is gonna last, and I'm sure that it doesn't sound great hearing all the aids. Yes, Jeffrey, hearing the aids in my face. So our great man, our great propagandist, the producer of the Pseudowave, has come in at just in the nick of time. So I got a little bit of stuff here I'll talk about at the very beginning, but on the back end, we are going to watch the greatest Pseudowave of all time. He continues to outdo himself. Well, I'm a week behind on this one, so I happen to know that the next one that's coming out is shorter than this one. But this one is this one is, I believe, 130 minutes long. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes for this Pseudowave. We are at long feature-length film. That's the whole thing. If you don't get it, that's the vibe. You're sitting down, you're going back to the before time, and you're sitting down on the couch, got the windows open. It's kind of stuffy because not everybody has air conditioning. Just get the breeze blowing through. You sit down late at night, and you're watching a TV show. This TV show is intentionally crafted to send a message to you. And no, not a 6-hour lab. Mr. Suda here has offered us the opportunity to have a lab where otherwise there probably wouldn't have been one. And I'm going to stretch myself, and I included some stuff at the front end here that we'll talk about before we get to it. Because I do have a couple of things I wanted to bring up, but not sure how long I could push my voice, how long I could do this. But this is what I'm doing. I want to, for those who want content, more entertainment, more maybe even educational, just a little bit of art consumption. You're going to have something great tonight. So we appreciate our great Sudaman. And the next one, he said, is a little bit shorter, but it is from what he's described, it sounds very good. See, for those maybe you've come in after the whole Suda thing started, I don't watch these. I don't watch these beforehand. They started off as 5 to 8 minute things, but as he's explored his art form, he's building them into a whole new thing, and he watches your guys' feedback, and he incorporates it. So this one here, you might note, has incorporated, from what I've been told. Again, I haven't watched it. I guarantee you, it's 2 hours long. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch this on the show. And but I've got a few little hints about what's in it. So I'm looking forward to it. Gluten Doodle says, kind of wish he'd tighten it up to 90 minutes again. Yeah. This one he's just trolling us. Maybe. I don't know. You'll have to ask him. But anyways, please do make sure that you tip your streamer. I am showing up here to give you guys more content, to be white pilled, to be entertained, to be to have your mind stimulated, maybe in a positive way. That's the goal. So I'm probably gonna I'll probably talk for half an hour or so here at the front end, and then we'll get into the wave, the Suda wave. It is a Suda lab tonight. We got a tip that came in already from JD Pants, and I read this one already. So we're just getting off to a start. We're starting right where we left off last night.
Does the Astrolabe have a dress code? I ask, because I'm not wearing shoes or a shirt. I just came in my pants.
Well, I am not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing American flag shorts, and I'm barefoot. I would not wear, sometimes I do wear pants. Sometimes I wear sweatpants. Got to be comfortable up in here. But when I do, I pull them up to my knees because there's just something about having my calves covered while I'm doing this that I don't know. It's off-putting to me. But yes, I am in shorts, and I always come in my shorts. Get the bonk sticks out. Thank you, JD Pants. I appreciate you. At least it wasn't a couch. And then shout out to a couple of, let's see, we got Nematoda subscribed. Thank you, Nematoda. And then Barndon, Jordan Gibb, and Aspiring Midwit have all resubscribed for 6 months apiece. 3 6s. Need somebody to resubscribe. I'll take a subscriber. A subscriber will do. But those resubscriptions, 3 6s in a row, that's not a good omen. And then something magical happened in the pre-show. You guys missed out on the pre-show. There was some bangers. We were rocking the clanker bangers this time. And something magical happened. Mr. Screwed Up Nevsky showed up, and he said, hey, someone gift me a sub. Which is kind of funny because he is the channel leader in gifted subs. Samoa Bob is pushing him on that front, but as of right now, Screwed Up Nevsky is the channel leader in gifted subs. But he was on mobile and he needed to resubscribe himself, so he just says, "Hey, someone gift me a sub." Now the sub gifting is completely random. You may not know this if you're just listening on a podcast, but there it's just randomized. You can't gift one targeted to someone. So there was 50-something people here on Kick at that point. And you survive, there we go. That's better. Much better. Thank you, Anonymous, gifting one sub to Custard Estro. There we go. Much better. 6 4s. 6 4s is much better than 3. Thank you, Anonymous. Uh-oh.
All the horny posting, it's like people forgot about No Nut November.
No, seriously. You guys are sadistic. It's No Nut November and you're horny posting on here. Are you trying to put stumbling blocks in front of your brothers? Are you trying to make life hard on them? You're weaponizing Justine against them. Completely unacceptable. But anyway, so Skudubnevsky requested a sub, and it's damn it, Jeremy gifted a sub, which would just go randomly to someone, and it went to Skudubnevsky. That's the second time I think I've ever seen that happen. Someone request a sub and then actually get it. Remarkable. Magical. That offsets the 3 6s, I do say. No. If you guys are going to horny post, here's the rule. If you guys are going to horny post, you have to do it through the tip jar. You cannot horny post in the regular live chat. We're going to draw the line somewhere. So, only thing allowed in the live chat is the bonks. The bonk emotes are the only the only thing that belongs in there. Fair? Rule of the channel. Done. Now, Slutty Milk is the only person with the ban hammer right now, I think. So, he's going to be the one who's monitoring this, so you guys can fight your fights with him. Because I'm not going to pay attention. Anyways, okay, so let us, no horn post on main, Kate. That's right. Slutty Milk says, no horn. Yeah, that's right. You got to obey the authority here. We are authority respecters up in here. All right, let's get this started. So, first of all, look at this. Hurricane season has just 2 weeks remaining. But so far, for the first time in a decade, 0 hurricanes made U.S. landfall, 0 Gulf hurricanes. Interesting. It seems like so much of life, public life, has revolved around hurricane season and hearing about hurricane season and all the new atrocities and the new expenses and, these big disaster sites. They're a prime opportunity for the NGO complex to come in and provide disaster relief, especially in partnership with major corporations and financing organizations and banks. They want to come in and acquire a bunch of property, especially on the cheap, and maybe use it as a pretext for, if there's a humanitarian situation, you can mask a lot of other things in the middle of a humanitarian situation. So, Mellon says the amount of fraud that happens after these things is insane. These are great opportunities. Never let a crisis go to waste. Then USAID gets defunded. Bill Gates says climate change is no longer an existential issue. And suddenly, all the hurricanes dry up. Now, maybe this is just a coincidence. I am not saying that USAID was creating hurricanes. I'm not saying that. Maybe they were. I don't know. I'm just observing an extremely, extremely profound connection here. For a decade, suddenly, we get none.
If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Bobby Ballbags, thank you, Patriot, gifting a sub to Baldwin's Ghost. Welcome, fellas. Let's give you guys... let's do this. This will set the mood.
Good morning, bastards!
Do the train horn for good measure. There we go. Deal with that problem. He showed up. He thought he was going to hang out. Nope, we took care of it. The trains are irresistible. It's just like they draw them like magnets. I don't know what it is. Like I saw some like elaborate 4chan theory or something that it has to do with them having like an innate fascination with gigantic large objects or something, and it goes back to these pagan feasts where I don't know. They just like it's just weird. They have a very, very weird relationship to trains. A distinct one. Like you cannot watch TikTok videos of Indian people walking in front of trains and then tell me that there's nothing to race. That these are people just like I am. And maybe they're human beings, but they're a totally different kind of people. I've seen exactly 0 people in my life that make a habit of getting crushed by trains until I was introduced to Indian TikTok. Sorry. I just, I'm noticing a pattern here.
White man is back, baby! The white man is back!
Go get a bottle of Crow 86 and ignore your cold like a man.
No. I don't know what Crow 86 is, but no, men, have you heard of the man cold? There's nothing like this. This tip obviously came from a woman. It says anonymous. I don't know who it was, but it obviously came from a woman. This is, the man cold is a well-documented phenomenon. And men absolutely would never milk every last little bit out of it that they could. They would never capitalize on it and play into the meme. Of course that wouldn't happen. Thank you for the tip. Generous one. $20. Thank you. Is that how, let's see, where are we at? $14.35. So we need 53 more. $52.48 will get us to the magical $14.88. And also, we are currently sitting at 109 subs. Look at that. $53 away from $14.88. Can we get both of them at the same time? Nobody subscribe or gift a sub until we hit $14.88. Try to hit $14.88, and then we'll be at both at the same time. 109 and $14.88. Might get the ADL after us finally. Okay, so yeah, just very interesting patterns. Very interesting patterns that suddenly zero hurricanes in the Gulf. The Gulf of what, you ask? Ah, well, the Gulf of America. Legal Phil says can't help but notice that since it was renamed the Gulf of America, hurricanes have decided not to mess with it. Even the weather bends the knee. The Gulf of America. It's like a what do you call it? There's probably some sort of, I don't know, magic term for this. Where's my Harry Potter nerds? Some sort of like spoken phrase that compels, that creates some sort of like force field. We have given it powerful, we have imbued it with powerful semiotic significance. That even the weather turns around it. My president is a wizard. That's right, Slutty Milk. Literally a wizard. Award, is that what it is? Is that the actual definition of award? Award of patriotism? Am I learning something today? Is this a today I learned moment that the actual etymology of ward is like this concept that I'm describing? Concept of wizardry and witchcraft? My president is a wizard. You're a wizard, Donnie. Yes, like warding off evil. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for casting a spell and warding off evil. Think of all the industries that had hurricane disaster, capitalizing on hurricane disasters as part of their part of their yearly budgets. And now, all of a sudden, first time in 10 years, that's long enough for entire industries to get built out around that. Whether intentionally, like, we're going to cause hurricanes and capitalize on them, or just people like, hey, here's a great opportunity. Let me build into this opportunity and capture it. 10 years is more than enough time to get an industry like that really deeply set in, and assuming that this is just how it's going to be forever. And all of a sudden, no great disasters to be capitalized on. You know what that might mean? Oh, this would be very interesting. Be very interesting to track FEMA funding, FEMA expenses for the year. Is this additional resources freed up to dedicate toward deportations? Is that what I'm seeing here? No major hurricane disasters in this hurricane season. How much FEMA funding do you think goes toward all of those efforts every year? And how much of that funding has suddenly been unloosed to potentially be reallocated or just run more profitably? Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm willing to believe that the world operates at this level. I'm willing to believe that there are shadowy figures, networks of cabals that are literally intentionally causing hurricanes. I don't operate as if that's the case, but when I see things like this, I'm like, you wouldn't really have to twist my arm to make me believe it. But I also think that, like, you can't necessarily take that too far, even if it is true. They are just men at the end of the day. And I can also pretty easily rationalize my way to where a lot of these things are more emergent than they are intentionally planned, so to speak. Like, nobody actually thinks that they're engaged in corruption. Every single one of them has provided some sort of rational justification for why they are actually the superhero doing the right thing. And the collective of all these people pursuing their own wills, assuming their own wills to be pointed correctly, the emergent effect of all of this is something that's really distorted and horrifying. Like, we create hurricanes to kill people and destroy their homes so we can capitalize on all of their property. Like, just about one of the most, like, unimaginably evil, corrupt things you could do. But I can work my way around how this could be an emergent thing. That's just the consequence of humanity pursuing its own will with good intentions. They all have good intentions, but the collective net effect of it is evil. And so then, some sort of, you have the entrance of some really, really profoundly good things that happen, like cutting USAID, mass deportations. All of these things that are happening are they're like, it's like the cosmic justice scale is being put back in order, is being balanced again.
Here is hoping the admin sees this and stops all future hurricanes.
That's right. That's right. You know what? You and the Trump administration, I know there's someone listening. We're going to have something about this in just a second. We are going to allow ourselves to live in a fanciful world here in just a moment. We'll get to that shortly. Don't get ahead of me. But yes, please, Trump administration, listening in, whatever staffers or whomever you are over there who are listening, please get the word up to the big guy. Please make him push the hurricanes off button next year as well. We need to flush these mofos out. We need to make them scramble. Make them try to move that money around real quick. Reorganize. Catch them in the act. They thought that they were bunkered in, that they'd created a lifetime of wealth for themselves and their posterity, monetizing hurricanes. Now all of a sudden they got to scramble. We can catch them in the act. It is part of the game. This is an elaboration on the game that is happening right now. So please do, Mr. President, press that button. Emperor Atreides says the John Doyle show is peak. Great recommendation. Thank you, sir. He also says, I watched the full Incredibles video too. Wasn't it incredible? Isn't the dude... Speaking of wizards, John Doyle is a freaking wizard. I got a clip from him coming up here shortly. But the man is steering into the storm. And he's powering through. Everyone gather together and send energy to the Grand Wizard John Doyle. Let him harvest patriotism from us. The more he harvests our patriotism, the more patriotism exists in the world. That's how it works. It's a self-perpetuating phenomenon. John Doyle with cues. Yes. This is the world we're going to live in. Doesn't even bother hiding his power levels. Yes. He's got a unique ability to communicate. He is a masterful communicator. He has it's a different style, but he's like Tucker. If you listen to Tucker monologues when he really gets going on something, I think as a pure rhetorician, I think that Doyle's probably even better than Tucker. But they're both S tier rhetorically. Extreme natural talent. Similar to Asmongold too. Yeah, Asmongold has he's not as polished, but he's just as quick and blunt, and he's quick on his feet. So glad we've got these patriots on our side. Look at this. Look at this. Speaking of the administration, just pandering. Absolutely shamelessly pandering to us. No need to do this. They wouldn't have to do this. But they are choosing to do this. And oh, is it great. This is a real ad. Shout out to Johnny Maga for highlighting this one. This is a real ad that just dropped from the Trump administration aimed at bringing civility back to air travel. It starts with classic Americana aesthetic from the 50s to 90s and then cuts to Spirit Airlines brawls. Absolutely incredible content.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Air travel is a miracle of American ingenuity. We build airports to launch a golden age of travel across the skies. We respected the dignity of air travel and the men and women who made the dream possible. Flying was a bastion of civility. But today,
Don't touch me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing it. I'm allowed to put my seat back.
but manners don't stop at the gate.
That's right. Manners don't stop at the gate. Things aren't what they used to be. Some would call it the golden age of travel. Let's bring civility and manners back. Ask yourself, are you helping a pregnant woman put her bag in the overhead bin? Are you dressing with respect? Are you keeping control of your children? Are you saying thank you to your flight attendants and your pilots? Are you saying please and thank you in general? The golden age of travel begins with you.
You have to say please and thank you. Are you dressing with respect? Yes. The Secretary of Transportation, Donald Trump's Secretary of Transportation, just compared Americana aesthetic flight travel with Spirit Airlines brawls and then said, are you dressing with respect? I feel called on the spot by this administration. And then he says you gotta say please. You gotta say please and thank you. Are you helping pregnant women with their luggage? They don't have to do this. They're doing this because they believe it. This shit is from the heart. There is somebody with significant influence within the Trump administration that is rowing absolutely in the right direction. They've got DHS and they've got the Department of Transportation both, where at least their social media game, their signal, is very, very strong. Uh-oh.
They're pandering to us, just paying us back for all the policy they stole from us. They owe us everything. Without us, they would have nothing. They're dumb idiots who have never done anything for us which we hadn't told them explicitly to do. Silly.
Okay, sure, yes. I can't even model that frame of mind. There is absolutely zero reason for them to emphasize something like this. Like you might be able to workshop this into like how I don't know, some electoral, like you're not going to get any sort of consultants that are going to come in and say, this is something that you should make a priority. This is not Beltway thinking. And if it is, boy howdy are we winning. We are further along than even I thought we were. If this is the stuff that consultants are trying to promote now. Yeah, Ninja of Spades, this is the kind of propaganda we've been begging for. Dress respectfully, be respectful, say please and thank you, bring your frickin' manners back. You know what this means from a policy perspective is they're signaling what sort of thing they want to incentivize. which also means they're signaling what sorts of things they're going to crack down on. And this comes from a particular spirit, a particular temperament or personality. There's nowhere else in the world right now that I've seen this sort of political perspective, political directionality, than, like Fashwave edits, basically, the Fashwave community. It's incredible. It's incredible. Now I can't dress the way I'm obligated now. Next time I go to the airport, I'm going to dress nice. I have to. My transportation secretary just admonished me for wearing sweatpants on a flight. Sweatpants and Crocs. I have to wear slacks and shoes for my next flight, which is just going to be in a couple of months. This is beyond what I voted for. Beyond. Yeah, Gigaju, that legit felt like a Suda edit. Totally. 100%. And look at this. I played this for you guys last week. Or not last week. This was a few weeks ago. October 23. Okay, so this is like 3 weeks ago. Three or 4 weeks ago. The DOT's rollout of its Beautifying Transportation Infrastructure Council, which will be tasked with making our buildings beautiful again.
America! I love you, America! You see, my God, he done shed his face on thee. And you ought to love him for it, because he crowned that good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Grand Wizard John Doyle is the guy from our Patriot side that needs to get on Tucker's show, to set a lot of the record straight in a respectful but strong way. On everything. Trump would gain 10% in approval ratings overnight, I swear.
Zen Walks, that is, I can't believe I didn't even think about this. That is a brilliant observation. Yes, we need to get Grand Wizard John Doyle on Tucker. Tips and Justine.
They just like us. The retards like us. The faggots are making so much money off us it's ridiculous. They want us to be based? Sure. Hell, even the commie consultants from Con Incorporated are taking our aesthetics. We were fascist before it was cool. No winning.
Okay, I accept your terms. I accept your terms that we have so much further to go. That's right, yes. We've come so far and we have so much further to go. Yes, good of Nesty. I'm surprised Doyle hasn't been on Tucker yet. We need to make that happen. We need to make that happen 100%. We need to get, Kate says we need to get Grand Wizard Doyle on Kingpilled. I feel like I don't have anything to offer him. Like he needs to be shooting way higher. He needs to be shooting way higher than Kingpilled. We need Doyle on Tucker. That's where it's at. We need Doyle on Tucker. Yeah, Straight Buster says Doyle is the rightful heir to Charlie's legacy. Yes. And it's very interesting because he would be a...
The nostalgia stuff would piss me off, but these people are actually trying to make the old feels an actual reality.
Yes, they are. And actually, let me before I get pulled away from this, let me go into this. The Beautifying Transportation Infrastructure Council. This was posted a few weeks back, October 23, and Duffy says, we live in the most beautiful country in the world, and it's time our infrastructure is beautiful again. Today, you can nominate architects, landscape designers, transportation engineers, historic preservation advocates, and more to join our Beautifying Transportation Infrastructure Council. And there's a link here. America is building again. Today, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced the creation of a first-of-its-kind Beautifying Transportation Infrastructure Council, which will advise the Secretary on policy and design opportunities to build beautiful structures and restore the beauty of key transportation infrastructure. including highways, bridges, and transit hubs, ensuring safety and efficiency remain the top priority. They encourage nominations of the nation's brightest architects, landscape designers, urban planners, artists, transportation engineers, and historic preservation advocates for membership to BTIC. Now, I'm sure, given where we've been at culturally for the past several decades, I'm sure that this is not going to be a council that's full of the most based aesthetics chads of all time. But directionally, this is very, very good. And here's an opportunity for any of our guys who would be qualified to get in there, get nominated. What's the worst? You don't get picked? Okay. What if you do? If you have any sort of architectural or landscape design or transport, like any of these things, sign up for it. What's the worst that happens? Okay. You don't get picked. On we go. Rome wasn't built in a day. We got a long, long ways to go. We got to pick up and we got to start hiking. And this is hiking in very much the right direction. As Mellon says, this demonstrates an understanding of metaphysics. Yes. This is a spiritually attuned administration, or at least it has significant, prominent factions within it who are being given a lot of latitude to make some very big cultural statements that can have real tangible effects. The DHS social media presence has been responsible for a tremendous number of self-deportations. So it's not just like some sort of backroom adjacent thing that's, like whatever, have a budget and go do your thing. No, and they've stated explicitly this was our goal. We wanted to be really over the top and upfront with this because it would spur deep self-deportations, which are a much better deal than actually having to physically take people out. And this, beautifying the infrastructure, well, I mean, it's frickin' Donald Trump. Obviously, this is going to be a priority for him. He's got a keen sense for all of this.
If winning means that other people join in my vision and make it a reality, then I don't want to win. Defend the right. Don't let the based aesthetics chads get their hands on our beautiful hard power. They will shoot their load and we will be left bruised.
I see what's happening. This is good. This is good. I like this. Yeah, the Don knows architecture. He does. So that means this is actually going to get some heat behind it. And if you have an appreciation for metaphysics, you'll recognize that even small moves in this direction can have profound effects. The simple effect of like having an organization that's prioritizing things like this and building these into the institutional inertia means it can stick around for a while. Now then it starts to affect people spiritually. Being around beautiful things is uplifting to your spirit. It's why it's a virtue. So they want to beautify the infrastructure and they want to beautify the spaces as well.
If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Screwed Up Nevsky, gifting a sub to Straight Buster. 2 Patriots. You can't swing a gifted sub around anywhere in the Labe chat without hitting just a dyed-in-the-wool longtime Patriot. Beautiful. Thank you, Colin Rosh, for resubscribing for 5 months now. He says, I'm late. At least you're here, man. It's good to see you. Okay, so this is just phenomenally white pilling to me, because these are the sort of things that are that can, what would you say? They're relatively low cost. Like choosing to have this to signal this way, choosing to prioritize things this way versus alternative focuses is relatively low cost. But it can move the needle significantly, further than the actual implementation of the policy. The bringing these things, bringing aesthetics and respect and proper behavior, discipline, bringing these things back as virtues and prominently championing them as virtues, it's not a solution in and of itself. It requires a response from the people and an engagement with it, but it's the opportunity to begin that self-reinforcing cycle. And so then it's up to us. Yeah, low cost, high signal. And it's up to us to engage and reflect that. And the more people who do, the more people who do choose to do that, the better. And the vast majority of people are just going to passively follow whatever is the in thing. So you're creating a cultural trend that can be followed. Yeah, hard work, being kind, just normal civilization things, right, Samoa Bob? Here's another. So I said earlier something about like, is there people in and around the administration who are listening? I've heard from a few people. I've got people reach out privately and say, I know someone so-and-so here, and there's, and I've gotten a few of those messages. Nothing that's like really easy to confirm, and I kind of, anyone can say anything. I don't know, but I mean, it wouldn't be that surprising to me. There's not that many steps removed to get to it. The Gigajew, yeah, I mean, the Gigajew joins the chat, of course. So we're right at the top from the beginning. But over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how the administration has. I don't want to get too far ahead of us here, because we're not the only people who are talking this way. We've been talking about how the administration is in this battle for how to message their wins. There's been so many wins, so many of them. I've dedicated hours and hours, I mean, hundreds of hours at this point, to documenting all of it. Got a whole backlog of hours and hours of streams going through all of these things. But it's too much for people to keep track of. In this way, Trump's wins have almost worked against him. The sheer magnitude of his wins has made people just get used to winning as the new normal, and they assume that the new normal is the same as the old normal. Winning is the new normal, but it's a very different normal. Even though it doesn't feel like it, it is. But if you start feeling it like it is, then it is. He said, I'm going to teach you how to win. And he is teaching us how to win for those who are willing to learn. So there's a deficit here. He's done so many things that he's completely reset the baseline. And a lot of people just aren't even aware of all of the things that are happening. I can't even keep up with all of it with the show. That's why the show's become 5 and 6 hours long. So we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. And it's been sort of kind of an adjacent conversation that I've seen out there. I've seen a few people say, oh, messing problem in these, I've seen that. But we've been specifically, even to the point where we started discussing creating, like actually putting together a website and everything, documenting all of these things that's searchable, people can go through. There's people in the King Pill Discord who are starting to noodle around on this idea. And then the White House does this. Good news you may have missed. Everyday proof the Trump agenda is delivering. Posted on X today. Since day one, President Donald J. Trump has been laser focused on delivering for the forgotten men and women of this country. While reversing 4 years of open borders, high taxes, and weak leadership isn't instantaneous, the early results are undeniable, and they're getting bigger every week. From reclaiming spots for American students on college campuses to the largest tax refund season in history on the horizon, here is some good news you may have missed. What are they highlighting? Reclaiming spots for American students on college campuses, and the largest tax refund season in history on the horizon. New foreign student enrollment at U.S. colleges and universities is down by 17% over last year. American universities, quoting, American universities have suffered.
I am Hitler, and I talk to Matt all the time. Trust me, bro, for months I did not drop a bomb on Paris. The pockets of purified Aryan enclaves are slowly coming from the light they've been absorbing from Agatha. We will keep winning. Deliver our base, baby.
Was that supposed to be Agatha, or was that supposed to be Agartha? Magatha! Yes, Slutty Milk! How does he do it? Magatha! Zenwalk says, how do I join the Discord? Kingpill.com. Go to kingpill.com. That's the way to join the Discord. You should do it. Yeah, Ninja Spades, this is direct 24-hour turnaround on a deliverable specifically requested on the LABE. That's what I'm saying. Now, is it just, yeah, like there's lots of people who are talking, oh, they've had so many different messaging problems and everything, but like the thing they specifically come out with is a list of wins within 24 hours. Now, to be fair, I did, the first time we started talking about this, I think was before I went to DC. So if I was smart, if I really had a instinct from the narrative here, I would just say that I had a meeting while I was in DC and told them to do this. But we talk about it here on the show. Someone in the chat suggests we should start putting together a list of all the administration's wins. And I'm like,
welcome to
let's start doing that.
If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Dave Johnson. All right, that's going to play over and over again, so let me get it. There we go. Thank you, Dave Johnson, has gifted 5 subs to, is that PLBY? The Onion Boy, Doctimus Prime, Mortic, and Kafka. Fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen one of those accounts comment before. Every once in a while, I see some of these. These are just like quiet lurkers in there that don't actually comment. Did some lurkers just get gifted a sub? Or are these bots? Prove yourself. Are you real? Thank you, Mr. Dave TBH.
You know, Dave Johnson is the gayest person to ever walk this green earth.
So true, Mr. President. All right, so back to the deliverable. Yeah, the Trump admin lurker got a sub. That's what it was. Oh, man. I just aired him out. No, it's Dave's fault. It's Dave's fault because he's so gay. He aired him out. They got outed. Dave's going to pee and heading back to bed. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Okay, so American universities have suffered one of the sharpest ever declines in foreign enrollments in the face of tough policies from President Donald Trump, with the number of new international students falling 17% this year. Directly touting this as a win. Tax refunds in 2026 are projected to be the largest ever. Tax filers could expect an extra $1,000 bump to their tax refund next year in what could be a record-breaking tax refund season. In total, the working families' tax cuts will give American taxpayers $191 billion in net new tax relief. For the 2026 tax filing season, taxpayers are expected to take home an additional $91 billion in refunds and keep an additional $30 billion in their paychecks from reduced withholdings. And a lot of this is because the One Big Beautiful Bill, the tax changes that were made in that bill were all retroactively applicable, so starting in 2025. Oh, I had to, hold on. I forgot I had the alert box muted. More from Justine.
Magatha, I may take the tip, but that's not the only thing I can take.
No, you
Please,
give the tips.
Fill me up, chud studs.
Oh,
Help
no.
me deliver the base babies. Stubbies make me shiver with the ecstasy of 10,000 megaton sexual bombs. Gay Dave is such a chad. Woo.
Oh man, Dave, I hope you hadn't gone back to bed. I hope you heard that. You're such a Chad. What was that other one? It said 10,000 megaton sexual bombs. Well, I gotta say, I did say that if you're gonna horny post, you have to do it in the tips. And that is happening. That's how we got chud studs. I'm gonna go tell my wife I identify as a chud stud. Next win. Public schools are seeing a dramatic drop in immigrant students. Quoting, from Miami to San Diego, schools around the U.S. are seeing big drops in enrollments of students from immigrant families. In some cases, parents have been deported or voluntarily returned to their home countries.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Skrudovnevsky has gifted a sub to my wife. Look at that. That works out well. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I said no thanks. Well, here, I got you a sub instead. In some cases, parents have been deported or voluntarily returned to their home countries, driven out by President Donald Trump's sweeping immigration crackdown. In many school systems, the biggest factor is that far fewer families are coming from other countries. As fewer people cross the U.S. border, administrators in small towns and big cities alike are reporting fewer newcomer students than usual. Prices for the Thanksgiving meal are down over last year. Cooking a Thanksgiving dinner for your friends and family will cost less than last year. The centerpiece on most Thanksgiving tables, the turkey, dramatically decreased in price, which helped bring down the overall cost of dinner. The average price for a 16-pound frozen turkey is $21.50. That's $1.34 per pound, down more than 16% from last year. And you might scoff at this sort of thing, but this is the sort of messaging that will connect with a lot of average people.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Bobby Bob Eggs. 5 subs gifted to Locram, Dino, Queen V8, Kaijin, and Nutsack. Very curious. Very, very curious. Bobby Ballbags gifted subs to Nutsack, a match made in heaven. I've never seen any of these names. Welcome, lurkers. All the lurkers are being exposed, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is the sort of thing that the especially like a boomer might be like, oh yeah, please tell me how much Thanksgiving. Wow, Thanksgiving dinner's gone down by 16%. Oh my goodness. And if you don't think this is true, if you don't think that this is actually significant, then you don't appreciate the absolute state of your average normie. The trade deficit nosedived in the most recent data. The U.S. trade deficit shrank in August as imports declined by the most in 4 months, official data showed Wednesday, after a lengthy delay due to a government shutdown. The goods and services trade gap narrowed almost 24% from the prior month, meaning more demand is being satisfied domestically, and less of it is being sourced overseas. The number of foreign-born immigrants in the country has plummeted. The trend had been upward in the preceding 4 years. However, since January of 2025, the trend has been in the other direction, declining nearly 2.23 million since the start of this year. This is a huge and statistically significant decline, indicating something has fundamentally changed. This is by far the largest 6-month decline that has ever occurred within the same year. This is very, very good, and we need lots and lots more. Very good. Keep it up. Thank you, President Trump. And this administration that is accomplishing tremendous things with very against great odds, let's say. So to all the lurkers out there, we see you. We appreciate you. Protect your identity. Stephen Miller calls it like it is on the true state of the Democrat Party. This had me Salieri posting today. Give me every single statement ever made from the administration through the voice of Stephen Miller. Please and thank you.
Stack the Supreme Court, appoint 10 radical loyalists, and destroy our entire constitutional order forever. In other words, they don't believe in systems, they don't believe in rules, they don't believe in laws. They believe in whatever keeps them in power. And if what they think keeps them in power is a military insurrection or a CIA insurrection, that's what they support. But if in a different setting, if, say, a soldier doesn't want to take the COVID vaccine, then they represent a threat to order in their view, and that person must be crushed and deprived of employment, deprived of opportunity. If a Democrat, for example, complains about election integrity, that person's a hero. If a Republican complains of election integrity, that person's to be jailed and incarcerated for life. This is the moment that we're in. This is what we're dealing with. So when we say that Democrats are communists, we don't just mean that, well, they believe in the state control of property. We mean they've adopted a method of thinking in which any use of force is justified for their end state of power and control. So they become a third world party, and we have to internalize that. We're not dealing with the old Democratic Party. We're dealing with a third world party.
We're not dealing with the old Democratic Party. We're dealing with a third world party. Stephen Miller, you beautiful bald man. The absolute state of the Democrat Party. Just give me, this is what we need. See, we need two things. We need Trump doing fireside addresses. We need Trump doing the fireside chats. I got to get that from Trump. I also just want a nightly podcast of Stephen Miller ranting and raving about everything that is most important in life to him. Because I happen to value all of those things. Give me Miller Wave. Just a nonstop track of Stephen Miller just absolutely ripping into Democrats and communists and immigrants and rogue judges. Just give it to me. Nightly podcast of him interrogating the latest captures for 10 minutes each. Ah! Yes! Yeah. Administration! We're making another request. Maybe this is asking too much. Maybe we need to work up to this. But oh my God. Struggle Stevens. Yes. He walks in like Chris Hansen. Akira the Don style Miller lo-fi wave. It's the next big thing. Get on it, Suda. Make it happen. God. This idea has legs. Oh, what a man. What a man. Breaking news, Representative Greg Stube? No idea how this is pronounced, but he's a Republican from Florida, will move to expel Representative...
The N-word.
Sheila Cherfilis McCormick, Democrat from Florida, from Congress, after she was indicted for stealing $5 million in FEMA money for her campaign. She stole FEMA money for her campaign. It's just comical. This is the absolute audacity. Justine, what do you want?
Satisfying domestic demands. Stuffing intake increased 20%. Juicy breast covered in cranberry sauce, drizzled with that creamy gravy has become bigger and better. I'm thankful for Bob Jews mogging globalists as third worldists. I'll watch him rip them up.
That's right. Bald Jews mogging globalists as third worldists. That's exactly what it is. We have the greatest balds. We've sicked our bald Jew on the globalists, and he's mogging them by calling them third worldists. He's civilization mogging them. Oh man, we was stealing from FEMA. Remember I was saying? I started it off talking about the hurricanes. I wonder if they caught her because suddenly the money was moving around differently or something like that. There was no hurricanes, so they caught this chick stealing $5 million from FEMA for her campaign. Tomorrow morning, he will file a privileged motion to censure her and strip her of her committees first. He said, and once House Ethics concludes their investigation or she is formally convicted, rest assured I will move to expel her from Congress. Hurricane Shaniqua. It do be like that, FEMA. So this is now the third Democrat Congress member who is under indictment by Pam Bondi's DOJ. There's also that chick who was attacking ICE officers in like New York or New Jersey or something. And then there's a guy from Texas, Henry Cuellar, a Democrat from Texas who's been indicted for bribery. So there's 3 elected Democrats, not to mention John Bolton and James Comey. John Bolton was indicted, right? Or am I thinking of someone else? Anyways, there's not even including those guys. Just 3 sitting elected Democrats have now been indicted. You know, that's one way to keep the House. That's one way to keep the House is just start arresting the Democrats. Now, here's the thing. Every single time any of these things has happened, and it's come up for censures or committee reassignments, every single time Congress has cucked out. You want to chimp about something? Chimp at this. Put the heat on Congress to make this happen. Start getting these Democrat Congress people. I'm not going to say out loud the phrase that came to my mind, but you could probably think of it. Start arresting them. That's a great way to keep the House. They're all guilty of something. So just arrest them. In this case, they got the most obvious thing. She stole FEMA money for her campaign. She should not be in Congress. There's a long list of reasons why she should not be in Congress. But stealing money from FEMA for your campaign is just, that's got to be the lowest possible bar. Anyways, very interesting. Very, very interesting behavior from Pam Bondi's Department of Justice. We'll see if these go anywhere. But go chimp at Congress about this. They're not feeling the heat enough. They're not ready. You can see with the way that Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been behaving. They're not feeling the heat enough. They still think that there's a way they can wiggle through and navigate their way out of this without losing anything. Nope. Doesn't work like that anymore. More breaking news. In a stunning 5-4 ruling, the Supreme Court has just handed President Trump sweeping wartime powers under the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, allowing mass deportations of Tren de Aragua gang members, classified as an invasion force, straight to El Salvador's mega prison.
Now we have a Fox News alert. The Supreme Court just cleared the way for Trump to deport illegals even faster. The High Court ruled that Trump can use the Alien Enemies Act to send Venezuelan gangbangers to a mega prison in El Salvador. This is a huge ruling in Trump's favor and a major win for the country after, as you know, D.C. Judge James Boasberg ordered a stop to the deportations. So this is pretty significant. These deportations, Caroline, can keep going.
This is a massive legal victory, Jesse, a massive victory for law and order and for our constitutional republic and the sovereignty of the United States of America. We called on the Supreme Court to rein in these activist judges like Judge Boasberg, who was completely out of line in trying to say that the president didn't have the executive authority to deport foreign terrorists off of our soil. We have always maintained the position at the White House that the president was well within his constitutional authority to do so. And this decision proves that President Trump and our administration have always been right from the beginning. He will continue to utilize the Alien Enemies Act to remove foreign terrorists and Tren de Aragua members, vicious gang members from American communities. And because of this ruling, the United States of America is a much safer place. Our team will get to work tomorrow to deport these heinous, violent foreign terrorists from our neighborhoods.
And you had another couple critical wins in the court with regard to Doge. Tell us about those. That seems to be making progress.
Yes, absolutely. There have been many wins that the mainstream media has failed to cover, particularly over the weekend. The Supreme Court also ruled that the president does, in fact, have the authority over federal funding, that he can dictate what funds can go out the door and what can't, so long as they are part of the executive branch. So we have always, again, maintained that every executive order the president has signed, every executive action that he has taken has been well within his executive authority. And Doge is doing a tremendous job at cutting back at the waste and the fraud and the abuse that have been ripping off American taxpayers, that have not been aligned with our interests here in our country. So we're going to continue the president's agenda. Again, he's well within his constitutional authority, and it's great to see the Supreme Court reining in these activist judges who are wearing robes but are acting as judicial activists, not as real judges and real arbiters of the law.
All right. Lawyers wrong. I can't believe a lawyer would ever be wrong. It just amazes me. They think
some of their lips. They look weird. Really tight. Tighter than usual. Odd.
Always right. I guess not this time. Sorry, Boasberg. We love you, but we're sorry.
Noseberg. All right, so this is last little thing here before we get into the pseudo wave. The president was talking, and here's another great example of the here's another example of the breaking slop. Now I'm going to play this clip for you. If you've been looking at the screen, you may have seen already the comment that I made. But if you weren't, then I'm going to play this clip. Listen to what is said, and listen to what is not said.
And I'll tell you, it was an amazing time. But this looks like it's going to be blowing it away, because when these plants, which are being built now, and many are going to be started very shortly, many, but when they open, we're going to see numbers the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And, you know, in some cases, you're building extremely complex plants. You're building plants to make computers and to make telephones, to make a lot of different things, missiles. But you're building plants that make things that are very, very detailed, and you have to have great knowledge. And you're coming here and you find, if we don't have people that did that before, we are allowing you, and I may take a little heat. I always take a little heat from my people, the people that love me and the people that I love. They happen to be toward the right of center, toward the right. Sometimes they're way right.
The people that I love.
If you have to bring people to get those plants opened,
He loves the Panicans, guys. You hear that? He does love the Panicans. This is how magnanimous my president is. He loves the Panicans. In spite of it.
We want you to do that, and we want those people to teach our people how to make computer chips and how to make other things. You can't come in, and I'm explaining.
Notice he said how to make. Bring them in so that they can teach people how to make. How to make. Not how to do, how to make. We're going to be making shit. People are going to come in and they're going to teach our people how to make. What is the thing that has defined the last several decades? Offshoring critical industries? What does that mean? That means, by definition, the American workforce for those industries has to be trained. A lot of that industry knowledge is not present here, particularly at the scale they're wanting to go. They're not wanting to do some sort of take a couple of decades to kind of spin things up. No, they're trying to hit the fucking accelerator. Let's go. Let's build. Build shit. Capitalize. Move now. Go, 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 go. That workforce needs to be trained with specialized knowledge for making things. Semiconductors. Ships. Missiles. These are the things that he's named, that have been mentioned. Specialized labor that either is not done in the U.S. right now or is done at such small scale relative to where they want it that it needs to be goosed. This is what's being talked about. Nothing with call centers. Nothing about owning hotels. This is the context of what he's talking about. I'm being really autistic about breaking this down. Because to me, I listened to it one time through and I know exactly what he's saying. There's no question. It's not like, oh, he just can't make his point. He's making his point perfectly clearly. Unless you're choosing to be obtuse about it. Now again, we're almost exactly a third of the way through the video. And note again, what has not been said.
You can't come in, open up a massive computer chip factory for billions and billions of dollars like is being done in Arizona and think you're going to hire people off an unemployment line to run it. They're going to have to bring thousands of people with them, and I'm going to welcome those people. Now,
what's the subtext here? The subtext here is that people who are currently unemployed are going to be trained to create semiconductors and build ships. That's the mentality here. Let's take people who can't get a job right now, actual Americans. Not let's take people who are well employed and just like give them a raise or something, though that's going to be there as well. No, the purpose here, the motivation is we're going to have massive training programs on these specialized industries that have been offshored for the last several decades. We're going to have training accelerators where people who are currently unemployed can go learn how to run the fabrication facilities for semiconductors. Yeah, creating a workforce and building here. What a crazy concept. This is explicitly Friedrich Listian economics in action. This is the creation of a national economy. And he still hasn't said one particular thing.
I love my conservative friends. I love MAGA, but this is MAGA. And those people are going to teach our people how to make computer chips. And in a short period of time, our people are going to be doing great. And those people can go home where they probably always want to be. You know, when people are born someplace, they tend to want to go, and we have the greatest country in the world, but they want to go. But they're going to do. We had one case in Georgia where a battery factory, batteries are very dangerous to make. They're complex, much more complex than people understand. And they spent $1 billion to build a factory. And they were told to get out.
Go home to mommy.
And I said, stop it. Don't be stupid. And we worked it out. And now they're teaching our people how to do it. But they're going to have to spend, Jensen, I don't think you can open up a big plant with your friend from Taiwan where we're going to have 40 or 50% of the computer chip business at I don't think you can do that.
What example is he giving? The example he's giving is semiconductor manufacturers in Taiwan. We're going to take the Taiwanese business. We're going to import that, bring all of that back here. That industry has not been here. So we do have some people here who know that industry, but not enough for the scale they're looking at. They're looking at taking on half of the industry ASAP.
With people that don't even know what a chip looks like. Do you agree with that? So somehow, you know.
So people who currently do not even know what a chip looks like are the people he has in mind for working these jobs.
People that.
He uses his panicans as a distraction to make it not seem like he's going hard right and holding the global brain trust hostage. We're too stupid to deceive the third world. Chimps are great with numbers and tools. They have big brains and big feelings.
Yes. Yes. And so the dialectic continues. They have big brains and big feelings. What are you guys saying here? Breaking. House passes legislation reinstating cash bail in D.C. and bans activist D.C. judges from letting criminals go free. Frickin' base. A win. Finally, we get a win through Congress. You know what happens when you win? It breeds more winning. If we're winning on this, that means there's more wins to come. Zoomer Dylan said he's talking about me. I don't know what a chip looks like. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes. Zoomer Dylan, you are going to be making chips. That's what our president is saying.
Our Gensers are really, really smart. They're unbelievable patriots, but they just don't understand. Our people have to be taught. This is something they've never done. And we're not going to be successful if we don't allow people that invest billions of dollars in plant and equipment to bring a lot of their people from their country to get that plant open, operating, and working. I'm sorry. So my poll numbers just went down, but with smart people, they've gone way up. They've gone way up. And I mean that. So for those of you that are doing the plants, you're going to have all the help you need, and you're going to do a great job. And you're going to teach our people how to do it, and our people are going to be just as good as your people ever were in not such a long period of time.
Our people are going to be just as good as your people. He's talking about American employment. God, I love this man. Think about the picture that he's painting. And he says this, my poll numbers went down. You know how everyone always says that he just follows whatever's popular? He's like this egomaniac who just kind of bumbles around, throwing shit at the wall and just following whatever seems most popular. He's literally saying, I don't care if this hurts me electorally. This is what's best for the country. This approach is what's best for the country. He's doing the opposite of just throwing shit at the wall. You know what sort of political courage it takes? To turn to your own support. It's easy to attack your enemies, but turning to your own supporters and saying, I've heard you. I understand what's best. The man's following his heart directly. And nobody can question his love for his country. He is doing this whether or not his supporters understand it. He's given you an extremely more detailed and complex explanation on this than he does on a lot of things. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Now, yeah, Tyler says it's one thing to say this is BS when it's Vivek or even Elon saying this, but when Big Don says it, you might just be the one who's wrong. Yes. Han says, we have thousands of white dudes with grad degrees in engineering who are incapable of finding employment because Patel wanted to bring in his third cousins. Why exactly are these men incapable of manufacturing chips without help from foreigners? Well, because some of this industry has been, you're talking like industrial muscle memory. So those are the guys who are going to be trained. Those are the guys who are going to get specific training on this, on specific narrow industries. And this is what he's saying is the purpose of immigration. Because what was the thing that he did not mention in that entire thing? He never once said anything about H-1Bs. The tweet, this is the thing I forgot to say, the tweet, this is the breaking slop that I'm talking about. The way this clip hit the internet and went viral and everyone started talking about it was because of all the different breaking slop accounts that framed this as President Trump urges MAGA supporters to understand his support for H-1B visas. He never said anything about H-1Bs. He's not talking about H-1Bs. His administration has the H-1B program in a stranglehold. To whatever extent they can, they're sunsetting it. They're going to stack policies to make that happen. But he's not talking about H-1Bs here. Or if he is, he's talking about an entirely different program that happens to have the label H-1B. But it's framed by the breaking slop accounts as him expressing his support for H-1B visas. So then people react to this as if he's talking about H-1Bs. He never said H-1Bs. He's not talking about H-1Bs. Or if he is talking about H-1Bs, he's describing something totally different. The administration is actively attacking the H-1B scam from a bunch of different angles. He has an executive proclamation where he explicitly says the abuse of the H-1B program is a national security threat, in particular because it undercuts domestic wages. So that's the administration's stated and demonstrated position on the H-1Bs. He's talking about something completely different. What he's describing here is his actual belief of immigration. Straight Buster says, no, Matt, you don't understand. America's greatest achievements were built by a stock of American that doesn't exist anymore, so we can do it ourselves. Right. Like these things can't be true at the same time. You can't say that America has been degraded, that the average American has been degenerated. Our culture has been dragged down so far. And these industries have been completely offshored for generations. And yet also, we can just spin up a semiconductor factory, no problem at all. I mean, it's not like if we had to do it in the first place, like we did it to begin with. But a lot of that institutional memory isn't still there. So you could go the long way of like waiting for it and kind of trying to build up to it and just like for whatever reason, or just take the existing knowledge that's there, pay for it for a period of time. And even better, I think they're the ones paying for it. So he's not even paying to have his people trained. He's like, you're going to invest this money here and you're going to pay to send your people over here to train my people. And then your people are going to go home. Now, the going home part, that has to be enforced. Which means it's all the better if we get administrational continuity. Either he gets elected in 2028 or his direct vice president, who seems to even be even more personally hawkish in immigration than him, gets elected. All we have to do is take the training. Our guys can be. What are the people he's describing? He's talking about guys who are not even in this industry whatsoever. So some good thoughts here from How I Mine for Fish. He says, I'm really thinking this is becoming an interaction of several factors. First, the American worker is being brutalized by visa abuse, hollowing out entry-level work, bribery schemes, ethnic patronage, etc. Yes, 100%. Two, Indians are largely dominating the visa process in the categories where these abuses occur, such as H-1B. Yes, 100%. Three, this creates a low-resolution heuristic wherein the American worker projects all visas as an abusive scheme to import infinity Indians. While not precise, it does serve as a useful stereotype, which is the proper use of stereotypes, in that if the U.S. simply stopped issuing visas to India, the majority of visible visa abuse would stop, and another country would become the next most flagrant offender. Also, yes. Number 4, point 3 cannot be spoken aloud for reasons of racism, although the taboo is breaking, cannot be made law without revising Hart-Celler, and runs afoul of the geopolitical game. That is, Trump cannot simply tell Modi to kick rocks and suck dirt because he needs to work with him where interests align, such as the blessing and curse of power politics. And again, if you think we're at the political point right now, or that Trump is the guy who could or would just tell Modi to kick rocks, you're delusional. There's not a possibility. It would be a profoundly irresponsible move as the president right now to just tell Modi to kick rocks and suck dirt. Such is just the geopolitical reality. So instead, everything becomes a euphemism. When the average American worker cries H-1B, he means Indian scam artist. And when the admin says visa, the average American hears H-1B, since that's what's in his face. And the admin can't say directly, we mean short-term Taiwanese trainers for the fab plant, not replacing your hotel staff with infinity Punjabis, because this is both too direct for geopolitics and too complex for domestic. So what does this mean? It means we have to look at deeds on visas, not words, which are diplomacy. You're trying to unpack his diplomacy speak to direct it toward, you're reading diplomacy speak as policy speak. And he's having to go above and beyond to be even more clear to delineate policy speak. But he has to do it while maintaining diplomacy speak. And it means we can never lose power until the evil forces within the DNC are crushed, because even if these are 700 elite and temporary Taiwanese engineers for now, the enemy will use that door to import infinity Bomalians if given the chance. Exactly. 100%. And we have to get comfortable with some things that are like this, where you're not going to get the single magical, like cutting the Gordian knot, perfect permanent solution in the first try. We're going to have to accept contingent solutions. That is, solutions that are contingent upon winning on another front. We don't know for sure if it's a solution or a full stamped and sealed, locked on the blockchain win, until there's a second step that confirms it retroactively. But we can't shy away from these sorts of things. We have to lean into them, because some problems are only going to be solved that way. You take the first step. The first step is not a final step. The first step is a direction toward a second step, and a third step, and a fourth step, and a fifth step. And you keep pushing for the next step. This is a tremendous breakdown by How I Mine for Fish. Powerful poster. Go follow him. Okay, so last thing before we get to the pseudo-wave. Here I am an hour and a half in. I said I'd probably go for like a half an hour, and of course I went for an hour and a half. My financial advisor's name is Harshit. His name is literally Horseshit. Mr. Sue says, if anything, this just shows Trump actually gives a fuck about his country. Yes, he does. Like, even if you don't agree with him, like, even if you think, no, that's too expansive of a policy, it'll be abused, it needs to be restricted more, I'm sympathetic to that. I think there's the possibility. You got to draw the line somewhere. You're going to get all this massive investment and brought in. You got to give on a little something somewhere. And here, you're giving on a little bit to get a tremendous amount in return. You're going to get all this investment. You're going to get all of this. You're going to get your people trained, being paid for by someone else to scale up your workforce as fast as possible, solving multiple problems all at the same time. Like, if this policy is accurately, is adequately or appropriately implemented, you're going to solve wages, housing, government funding. You're going to solve all sorts of different things. Fertility. So many things downstream from that. General sentiment in the country. This is what they're casting a vision where the infrastructure is beautiful and you are well paid to work a job where you are building things, you are creating things, you are fabricating. That's the direction they're rowing. And some of the steps are going to take more steps to cement them in place. And that's our job, to instantiate that throughout time as each of the people rises and falls in power. Speaking of rising in power, Mr. John Doyle. Here's another clip from that great episode. If you haven't watched it yet, maybe this clip will get you to go do it. Originally posted by Homan's Top Guy, another tremendous patriot. You guys should make sure you follow him. Passcode Ronald on Twitter. He's a great poster. But here's John Doyle. He says, they're calling it a nuke of truth.
It's ultimately just harming yourself. Tantrums make it harder to get what you want. And what was the response to the tantrum? What was the response to this feeding frenzy?
This is a point he makes. Like, there can be, like, I appreciate the whole dialectic, the Chimper-Trucer dialectic, and I'm self-consciously playing my part in that. Because I think that this is a productive dialectic. As long as it's persisting the way it is, I think it's productive, and I'm playing my part in it self-awarely. But there are times where it goes too far, and it can kind of become counterproductive, actually. It can have tangible bad effects. And here's a potential example of that.
Created by these election defeats, by Trump's bad statements, a bunch of Republican state legislatures that had planned to redistrict, which would give Republicans a better chance at winning the House in 2026. Well, suddenly they started to freak out. They were wavering. They were like, oh man, I guess people really don't like Trump. I guess maybe we don't actually have to measure ourselves and our chances of being reelected by attaching ourselves to Trump's agenda, I guess maybe we don't have to listen to this guy and move forward with redistricting plans. I guess, this guy's not really very popular. He's not going to be around much longer. I guess maybe we don't have to redistrict. We don't have to assist him in implementing his agenda. He needs that to be able to implement his agenda. By the way, redistricting, he needs to be able to push laws through Congress. We're in this weird position where people are upset, because Trump is perceived as not doing enough on important issues like immigration, but then their response is to contribute to political conditions such as attacking Trump, undermining party discipline, party loyalty, spurging out, where now it's actually harder for them to get what they nominally want now in the real world.
Yes, this is what I'm saying.
Because they're showing people, they're telegraphing to people that we're not actually going to measure how much we like you based on how helpful you are in helping Trump do what he's supposed to do. And Republicans are no strangers to this kind of contradiction, by the way. Lots of people who attack Trump for not doing enough on immigration are perfectly happy to defend Thomas Massie, a guy who sponsored a bill to expand the H-1B visa program, tried very hard to torpedo Trump's immigration centerpiece, the big, beautiful bill, which would have provided funding for his entire agenda. He's obviously Massie at this point. He's just trying to obstruct Trump's agenda. He was one of only 2 Republicans who voted with Democrats to keep the government closed. And all these freaking based people on the right are supporting him because they've been misled into believing that the only way to register criticism or dissent internally is to actively make the situation worse for Trump, worse for the Trump administration. And by that, I mean worse for us, worse for patriots.
The man can talk. Just every single point is precisely finely tuned to just skewer the truth. This is the point that I'm making. Trump's political sway, his political influence, his perceived power is an actual political asset, particularly when dealing with Congress, which is really the biggest enemy. Getting Congress on side opens up the world. And you can see these schemes coming from miles away. All the obstructionism, all of the barely give him a little bit here, but then hold it back and force him to play the game and go back and forth. And he's navigating it masterfully. What he needs right now is a 100% onside Congress. Doesn't matter what the issue is. We need everyone on side. We're operating as a single unit, a single party. Wholly moving directly at one goal. Get us moving in that goal, in the direction of that goal, and then we can start steering. You can't steer something that's not moving. So if you want, for example, redistricting, or you want the Supreme Court to overturn Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, or you want the Supreme Court to instantiate Trump's tariffs into law, if you want those things, then having the general public political perception of Trump be that he is the face of an unstoppable political animal that is going to absolutely eat your face off if you get in the way. That is one of the greatest assets. You give him that, and then there are no excuses. There are no reasons why it can't be done. Right now, those reasons are real. They are legitimate. Trump is not Caesar. Trump was never going to be the Caesar. He could be a type of Caesar on particular things. And it's clear that he's trying to go way beyond where he's gone right now. If you want him to do more than he has done, we are on the same page. I want him to do more than he has done. Where we may differ is you may think he doesn't want to do more. You may think he doesn't care about America or the American people. That he's just in it for his own sake, whatever. Okay, let's give him a fully onside Congress and then have that debate. But if it starts looking like his support base is fracturing, then suddenly you get things like state congressmen in states that can redistrict suddenly getting, maybe we don't have to risk it. Maybe we don't have to put our necks out. Because every single one of these elected officials at any level, they all know if they go throw their lot wholly, if they cross their little micro Rubicon themselves and they throw their lot in fully with Trump, they're going to get fucking strafed. They're going to get nuked. They're going to get legal rods from God dropped on their head as soon as a Democrat takes office again. So, they need to be more afraid of the Republican base than they are of the Democrats. Which means they need to be afraid of Trump. Because Trump is the shelling point. Trusting is a shelling point. You amass behind Trump, and you use him as a wedge to break the backs of the squishy Republicans. You just break their backs and force new blood in. Having the right new blood, that's another problem. There's many problems in front of us. But having Trump be the single, united, unstoppable political force, that is what ensures squishy, traitorous Republicans stay on side. As soon as that starts to fracture and break down, they get a little bolder. Maybe they can step out of line. Maybe they can push back against him. They can actually make their career obstructing him. That's the Trump 1.0. I'm going to make my career as the person who courageously obstructed the president. I'm going to parlay that into media and books and podcasts and interviews and whatever else. When you say things like MAGA is dead, they've lost their way, Trump is out of touch, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's listening to the wrong people, he's leading us all astray, you're just throwing yourself into that same bucket. Because that's what they're saying as well. They are also saying that Trump is not inevitable. He will lose. We will take him down eventually, and we'll replace him with our thing. You're either with Trump or you're against Trump. It's that simple. That's the dividing line. That needs to be the dividing line as far as any Republican state or local official or congressman or attorney general or secretary of state or any of them. They need to know their political career is done the minute they step against Trump. Shout out John Doyle. And shout out to the great Agitprop Master, our pseudo-wave generator. It is now time. An hour and 40 minutes in. It is now time for the pseudo-wave. Trump 47, week 43 of 208. The stories are true. Agit Paul. Before I get started, though, I'm going to tuck in for an excellent pseudo-wave. I cannot wait for it. I really want to know where he goes with this one. So before I do that, I'm going to let you guys have a little bit of Alex here, so I can go take a load off, and I will be right back.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain, chop his ass up, size it up.
leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
Oh, what a banger. All right, looks like we are $8.40. $7.46.
Kingfield, wait a minute. This isn't YouTube. This isn't a Yarvin lip reading. No weed sponsor in sight, and this Justine is out here begging for a shaved ice relationship. Amazing how far things come when you submit to the king.
Hermetic hegemony. Those are some old references. You've been around for a while. Thank you, friend. It's good to see you, man. HH to you. Oh. Okay. So what was I saying? Let's see here. So $8.46. I can't math. So $7.46. I can't math. The Dayquil. I just yeah, I did not expect to jabber away the way that I did, but I kind of got feeling like I was in a groove, so I just went for it. I may wind up having to break this off afterwards because depending on the stuff in the pseudowave, it sometimes gets the stream blocked on YouTube. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to end the recording here and then start the recording over again. And I'll try to post both and see if it'll let me post it on YouTube. It probably won't. So if you want the pseudowave, if you want the pseudowave live watch here, then you're going to have to, let's see. I'll post it separately on Substack, and you can watch it on Substack. That'll probably be the best way. You can watch the replay on Kick if you want. You can come over here. You go to the hour and 44 minute or so mark. And you can watch it, but probably the best way to do it will be watching it on Substack, and I won't post it to YouTube because I know it's going to get blocked right away. They won't get any views. So I'm going to end the recording here, and I guess, yeah, I'll just end it here. You know how to find it. I'm not going to do the whole outro on it, but I'm going to end it right now.